How's it going, everyone? It's Harvey from Weather Sponge 5000, and in this video we're going to focus on the ongoing tornado outbreak that's expected to last for several days here in the northern Midwest states. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So let's take a look at the current radar for the northern Midwest at this time, more specifically focusing in on Minnesota, and we do see a line of very strong thunderstorms here throughout the southern portion of Minnesota and extending to the northern portion of Iowa, as these thunderstorms are considered supercell thunderstorms. They're strong enough to the point where not only they're considered severe, but a lot of these embedded have tornado warnings issued. So that's definitely a major concern, especially for the Minneapolis area where the thunderstorms are right at their doorstep. It's currently around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, Central Time it's around 7:30 p.m. So at least at the recording of this video. So within, I'd say, maybe 32 minutes to an hour, these thunderstorms should move into Minneapolis, and the best hope is that eventually the air begins to stabilize right around Minnesota, because of course once the nighttime comes, we begin to see the air stabilize. But I don't know if there's necessarily going to be enough time for these thunderstorms to diminish by the time this reaches Minnesota. So definitely a major concern, because some of these thunderstorms have tornado warnings embedded inside of them. So if I were to show you guys the current warnings issued, look, we have tornado warnings issued just to the southwest of Minneapolis, which is very concerning, because if that thunderstorm remains tornadic as it moves into Minneapolis, that could potentially impact a large population, which would definitely be extremely concerning, especially if a tornado does spawn within one of these supercell thunderstorms. So you need to take precaution if you're under a tornado warning. Like I said, just to the southwest of Minneapolis, we do have tornado warnings issued between, I'd say, 3 to 4 counties right now. So it's definitely a major concern, and we do have severe thunderstorm warnings issued. And outside of that, we do have tornado watches issued throughout the southern portion of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, as tornado threat remains. Seems like it's gonna stay all night tonight, as there's just gonna be just enough instability and just enough wind shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere for a major severe weather threat to occur. If we were to take a look at the current temperatures, you see why there's a major severe weather threat, because look at the temperature readings right here, because you see that just to the south of the thunderstorm activity, we're seeing temperatures in the 90s throughout Iowa, extending to Nebraska as well. Where a lot of these readings are in the low 90s, and we even see a reading of 97 just to the south of Des Moines, Iowa. But you see, if we were to take a look for northward, temperatures sharply drop into the 60s, which means that there's a high amount of instability and lift in the atmosphere for a major severe weather to occur, because the air pressure is just very low along the surface for a major damaging wind threat to occur. And we're also seeing strong enough updrafts to where hail will be the issue, as well as strong enough wind shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So if we were to take a look at what the GFS model is currently stating at this time, let's take a look at the upper level winds at this time based on what the GFS model forecasts. Look at how much the wind direction changes with height. That really shows that there's a very hostile environment for a tornado threat to occur. So you need to pay close attention to that throughout Minnesota. And unfortunately, this won't be the last day of severe weather for you guys, because another round of severe weather is expected to impact you guys for tomorrow, because behind this initial low pressure system, we do have a little bit of another low pressure system moving through the western half of the United States, where we do see cold air behind it, and we even see some snow in the higher elevations of Nevada, Idaho, and Wyoming. And of course, when we see that cold air eventually move into this very warm sector in the United States. We have a very strong ridge bringing a strong southwesterly flow that's bringing a lot of that warmer air further northward, which is the reason why we saw 90-degree temperatures all throughout the Midwest and even heat advisories issued for portions of Iowa. Once that cold air that's almost close to Arctic type air interacts with that very warm air, another major severe weather threat is bound to happen where we're just going to see a lot of lift in the atmosphere for that to occur. If I were to continue to move forward, you see that the severe weather threat continues to develop. We see quite a formidable low pressure system, which we don't typically see this late into the going this late into the spring months, because that's when the baroclinic instability really decreases once we head into the spring and summer months. The only times we typically see low pressure systems drop to a millibar pressure that low is when there's either a tropical storm or a hurricane. But in this case, we still have just enough cold air to where we're going to see a strong amount of baroclinic instability for another major severe weather to occur. If I were to show you guys the convective available potential energy, and by the way, and look at this, guys, this is just crazy the amount of convective available potential energy there is. We're seeing readings well over 4,000, which is just a lot of lift in the atmosphere. That's just asking for a major severe weather threat to occur, and this is expected to continue into tomorrow, where if I were to show you guys, we could see readings up to 5,000 joules per kilogram, which is just a lot of energy in the atmosphere that's going to create a very hostile hostile conditions for severe weather to occur. So make sure to pay close attention to that, where we do see that the convective available potential energy levels way up, and all this energy is expected to converge further northward, where of course the cooler air is, and that will make the worst of severe weather threat be further northward into the Midwest states, where for a lot of you guys, it might be your first major severe weather threat. Of course, since we're entering the month of May, we will begin to see that severe weather threat shift further northward, and that's what's happening with this severe weather threat. And eventually, and we could even see that convective available potential energy lasts until Saturday, so we could see that severe weather threat shift a little bit further eastward as well, thanks to how much energy there is in the atmosphere. So make sure to pay close attention to that. And if we were to take a look at the precipitation forecast, because that's another threat associated with these thunderstorms, and by the way, the certainty is very high when we see convective available potential energy levels like that, and you clearly see why. There's just going to be a lot of instability, and it seems likely that the worst of severe weather is going to be towards Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, in that sort of vicinity, where the cool air mass will mostly interact with the warm air mass in this location. So make sure to pay close attention to that further northward, as this should be the worst severe weather that you guys experience probably for the year thus far. So make sure to pay close attention to that. If you're under a tornado warning, take cover. And I emphasize that maybe for Minneapolis, because you could be under a tornado warning if those supercell thunderstorms maintain its strength as they move further eastward. So make sure to pay close attention to that. In terms of the futurecast radar to see when you should expect the worst of severe weather, so the severe thunderstorm should move through Minneapolis by right around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is right around 9 p.m. Central Time. So this could be when you do experience when you are issued a severe thunderstorm warning, or even worse, a tornado warning. Hopefully that does not happen. But if I were to continue to move forward, the thunderstorms will eventually stabilize, but it won't be until very late. I wouldn't say until midnight and going into the overnight hours on Thursday, where we begin to see the air stabilize at a point where the thunderstorms aren't really considered severe. But again, we will see that the other round develop right around the afternoon hours. First, right around northern Minnesota, by the middle afternoon, but then by the evening time we should see those thunderstorms develop throughout South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, and extending into Minneapolis. So make sure to pay close attention to that, and we could see another round of severe weather along the backside of this storm. I don't think it's going to be necessarily as major because the cold air will move further northward along with the jet stream and this trough, so we won't see as major severe weather, but we still certainly could experience it. And in terms of the convective outlook for tomorrow, again, like I said, Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa should be in for the worst of the severe weather. And for today, of course, the eastern portion of Minnesota and the extreme western portion of Wisconsin should be aware for major tornado threat, where damaging winds, tornadoes, and large hail are certainly likely associated with a lot of these thunderstorms. So make sure to keep that in mind. And of course, by day 3, like I said, the threat should subside as, again, the cold air will move further northwards, but still pay attention to the possibility of severe weather. Now, here's my outlook for tomorrow when it comes to severe weather. So in the red, I'm expecting a major tornado outbreak. The wind shear is going to be strong enough. We're going to see just enough convective available potential energy levels to where the air pressure along the surface will be very low. And I think that should allow for a major tornado outbreak to occur just pretty much right around Minneapolis, or if not, just to the east of Minneapolis, like saying to South Dakota, Omaha should get involved in this. Just to the east of Des Moines, Iowa should get involved. In Des Moines, I'm expecting a moderate severe weather threat, but so you still could experience maybe an isolated tornadoes around the area, but I think large hail and damaging winds will be the bigger threat in those areas. And then this extends northward into North Dakota as well, into Fargo. So make sure to keep that in mind throughout the northern Midwest. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and I hope you guys all have a great day.